The Jets are in love. They have their top quarterback in sights. Who is it? What does it all mean? Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Zooey mama.
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Lesnar Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. We're a week from Christmas, which is somewhat fitting for today's topic because it sounds like the Jets know what they want under their Christmas tree this year, and it is Fernando Mendoza, baby. Fernando Mendoza. And that is what we're going to get into here on the program because according to NFL analyst and insider Nate Tice, the New York Jets are, quote, smitten with Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, and they're in love. And I did see Elf, the movie with Will Ferrell this week, and there's this quote from the movie where he runs into the office and he says, "Dad, I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it." And apparently, the Jets don't care who knows it. They are in love with Fernando Mendoza. We'll play that clip here in just a moment here on the program of them being in love and what it all means, and a very compelling take on quarterback evaluation associated with Fernando Mendoza. Real quick, we have a Boy Green Coffee Club membership coming in from our guy, our number one Austrian Jets fan. Let's friggin' go. Appreciate you, Austrian. Yeah. Thank you kindly, Austrian. That membership went to Bob Lederer. Wow. Okay, Bob Lederer. Welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club. We'll hear from Bob tomorrow on a Friday episode of Boy Green Daily. Very nice. Shout out to Bob Lederer, loyal subscriber to the Boy Green Coffee Club. By the way, 23 raffle tickets for you, number one Austrian Jets fan. So thank you kindly. Appreciate all your contributions here on the program. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Well, let's get to it. Let's play the clip. I want to bring this up from the Football 301 podcast, Yahoo Sports. Nate Tice had the great Dane Brugler on, NFL draft expert extraordinaire. You will hear the Smitten comment. You'll also hear Dane Brugler talk about Fernando Mendoza, what he likes, his concerns, and evaluation at the quarterback position, which we're going to dive into even deeper. So sit back, enjoy. We also have a full article in the YouTube description down below on this very topic matter. We'll be right back after this. Listen to this.
If the Raiders finish with the top pick, I mean, Mendoza, he'll be in your neck of the woods.
I know. I know the Jets are smitten with Mendoza. I know that.
They've got the ammo. I mean, I know. Well, and they're in a unique spot where they don't have to force it. Like if it just takes too much to get up to one, they have plenty of needs on that roster that they can address, and then next year go get the quarterback. So like the Jets are in a unique spot. The Browns are in a really unique spot of the head coach and GM back. I would argue they're as desperate as anybody to go make this quarterback spot right. Like, you know, last week Shador was, according to my Twitter feed, he was the answer. This week he's back to, you know, being a bum. So who knows how they're gonna let that thing play out. Yeah, it's a mess. But Mendoza is going to be most likely the top pick. And, you know, I liked him coming into the year. Like, I had a first round grade on him. He's a top 20 guy. I wasn't ready to say, like, number one because he doesn't have the overwhelming physical traits that I usually want in a quarterback. You know, like he's very Jared Goff like with the way he moves, with and he's probably maybe a little bit better athlete. Like it still looks awkward, but he's more mobile than you expect, and he can absolutely be someone that get the yards if they're there. The arm isn't amazing, but it's good enough. It's not a deterrent. It's not something that'll hurt him, but you just wish it was a little bit better. But what sets him apart is just the intelligence pre and post snap. He's so good for this offense. It's RPO heavy, and he understands. And like, you would think he's been in this offense for 4 years, not that he just showed up and he hasn't been in this offense for even a year. So give him. I mean, he's a really smart guy. Graduated with his business degree from Cal, and he's working on his MBA right now. Just really smart kid. You just start to run out of reasons why can't this guy be a high level starter? I always say this when we talk about quarterbacks. Like, the goal is not to find the next Josh Allen. It's just not realistic. That should not be the goal. The goal when drafting a quarterback is to find someone that you think can be a top 12 to 14 quarterback in the league. If you feel like you can find one of those guys, that's all you need to do, because then surround him with talent, coaching, and personnel, and you're going to be fighting for the playoffs. And then once you get in the playoffs, it's like, okay, just win one game at a time, and eventually we'll get to where we need to be. So do you think Mendoza can be a top 14 quarterback in the NFL? I certainly do at this point, and I think a lot of teams are going to come to that same conclusion, and that's why he's going to go number one.
Number one. Now, there's a couple of things I want to get into. First off, some of you may have reached the same conclusion when you clicked into this video. What the hell does the word smitten mean? Don't worry, I have you covered, right? We were able to hit that with a quick Goog search for you, all right? My gift from me to you. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the word smitten means, quote, deeply affected with or struck by strong feelings of attraction, affection, or infatuation, like the honeymoon phase, like, ooh, intrigued, tantalized, tickled, perhaps. So there you go. That's you're welcome for that. That's what the word smitten means for those coming in on that. The thing that I found fascinating here, so the Jets are smitten. Interesting. So let's take one step back. We talk about how the Jets have optionality. The Jets, of course, have 2 first-round picks of the 2026 NFL Draft, their own first-round pick, the Colts' first-round pick. They have 2 second-round picks, their own second-round pick, the Dallas Cowboys' second-round pick. Dallas Cowboys' chances continue to plummet of making the playoffs, which means that second-round pick appears very likely to be a top 50 pick, which is very valuable. Of course, in 2027, they have 3 first-round picks, their own, the Colts, and then whatever is the better pick between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers, and then their own second-round pick. So the Jets, long story short, have plenty of ammo. 5 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks for the next 2 years. But our big key, the big piece of the puzzle, regardless of whatever we thought about Fernando Mendoza, or quite frankly, any quarterback in this class, we said if the Jets love one of these guys, then we have a conversation. But if they don't love any of them, wait till 2027. And if Nate Tice is right, that the Jets are quote-unquote smitten with Fernando Mendoza, which would make sense. They've visited him a lot. He's had at least 4 or 5 visits from the New York Jets throughout the season publicly, let alone whatever has happened privately. So that would make sense. So if the Jets are in fact smitten, now we get to the next level of this dating profile. With the Jets intrigued by a certain quarterback, now it's like, okay, now what are you willing to do to get him? Because right now, if the draft started today, the Jets would have the 5th overall pick. The good news for the Jets is that at 5, there's only 4 teams ahead of them. And 3 of the 4 teams, the Jets either have a better strength of schedule or a tied in strength of schedule. The only exception is the Cleveland Browns, who have the same amount of wins as the Jets. In other words, if you're the Jets, you just don't want to be tied with the Cleveland Browns by season's end. As long as you're not tied in a good way, like if you have a lot more wins, then that won't matter. But as long as Cleveland has 1 more win than you do, then you will pick ahead of Cleveland. Avoid the strength of schedule tiebreaker because it seems too big of a gap to make up, quite frankly, with only 3 games left to play. So that's what you're hoping for if you're a Jets fan and if you're on the Mendoza train, because obviously the higher you are up in the draft, the less it will cost to trade up. There is still an organic path where the Jets can end up with the number 1 overall pick. But what I wanted to highlight, so the fact that they're smitten is fascinating and enough to headline a Boy Green Daily show here. But I loved what Dane Brugler, I don't think I've ever heard it this way before, or if I have, I've forgotten about it, about quarterbacks. Because when we go into the draft and we're trying to find a guy, the thing we often say is, man, where is the Patrick Mahomes? Where is the Josh Allen? Where's the superstar guy? And according to Dane Brugler, that is a fruitless effort to try to search for whoever that superstar quarterback in the league. And so I loved, like I said, this breakdown from Dane Brugler. He this is what he said in the video clip, but I want to repeat it. Quote, I always say this when you talk about quarterbacks. Like, the goal is not to find the next Josh Allen. That's not realistic. That should not be the goal. The goal when drafting a quarterback is to find someone you think could be a top 12 to 14 quarterback in the league. And if you feel like you can find one of those guys, that's all you need to do. Surround it with talent, coaching, personnel, and you're going to be fighting for the playoffs. Once you get to the playoffs, win one game at a time, eventually get to where you need to go. So do you think Mendoza could be a top 14 quarterback in the NFL? I certainly do at this point. I think a lot of teams are going to come to that same conclusion, and that's why he is going to go number 1 overall. Dane Brugler on the Football 301 podcast. What more does Fernando need to do? He accomplished a 13-0 record with Indiana. They're perfect heading into the college football playoff. Speaking of the college football playoff, they have the number 1 overall seed. They won the Big Ten championship. They slayed the Dragon in Ohio State. Fernando Mendoza became the first Indiana player to ever win the Heisman, and he's stacking up other awards on the trophy case. He has a 33 touchdown to 6 interception ratio. He has just under 3,000 passing yards. He has a 71% completion percentage. Level of competition, check. The statistics, check. Heisman, check. All these checks, check, 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 check. Now, I'll tell you this. I am, of course, intrigued to see how Fernando Mendoza performs in the CFP, the college football playoff with elite competition. I'm fascinated to see how he performs because that can build up his stock significantly by continuing to perform well. And that takes us all, of course, to this upcoming game this weekend where some people will be conflicted. The New York Jets travel to play the New Orleans Saints. The Jets are 3-11. The Saints are 4-10. The Saints no longer have a chance to get the number 1 overall pick because they won last week against the Carolina Panthers, sweeping the Panthers, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, speaking of Saints, they have won 2 in a row. They've won 3 of 5. Here are the 3 opponents they've beaten. They've beaten the Panthers, they've beaten the Panthers again, and they've beaten the Bucs. Those 3 teams that they beat are those 2 teams that they've beaten 3 times in the last 5 weeks are 2 teams that have already beaten the Jets. The Jets lost to the Panthers, and they lost to the Bucs. And the Saints beat both of those teams. Now, A plus B, of course, always doesn't equal C. But the Saints are playing well. Jets, not so much. They've lost 4 of 5. It's been difficult for the New York Jets. But I'm intrigued with this matchup because the Saints opened up as a 1.5-point favorite. They're now a 4.5-point favorite. They're at home against the Jets. Brady Cook will get his 2nd straight start for the New York Jets. Aaron Glenn announced that yesterday. Whoo! Bullet dodged. And the bullet dodged is Aaron Glenn. When the Jets cut Adrian Martinez earlier in the week, that was an indicator that one of the 2 quarterbacks were healthy enough to be available. Now, available and starting are different things. And I didn't want Brady Cook to be benched in place of Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor. So Brady Cook will be the starter. Who the QB2 is up in the air. AG said whoever's the healthiest guy between Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields. Tyrod Taylor is battling a groin injury. Justin Fields battling knee soreness. So whoever's healthier will be the QB2 for the Jets. The Jets already ruled out multiple starters, so that's a cup of suck. Mason Taylor already out for this week, which stinks. It's good that he hasn't been placed on IR yet because I'd like to see Mason Taylor before the season's over, but we'll see if that happens. Mason Taylor out. Tony Adams out. Francisco Mauigoa out. A lot of out. Eric Watts out. But 2 starters out for the Jets. That is Mason Taylor and Tony Adams. But Jeremy Ruckert, who's fresh off his extension, which congratulations to Jeremy. And real quick on a random detour on Jeremy, we'll open up the phone lines. We'll address a whole slew of topics for the Jets. Way to go, Jeremy Ruckert. I want to give a quick shout out to Jeremy Ruckert, who signed a 2-year deal yesterday for $10 million. Incentives could make it worth up to $11 million. For the first 3 years of Jeremy Ruckert's career, he was a big fat disappointment. He was the 101st overall pick in the third round of the 2022 NFL draft. And he was buried on the depth chart that same offseason. The Jets signed C.J. Uzomah, good times, Tyler Conklin, and Jeremy Ruckert. The Jets, after ignoring the tight end position for basically a decade, overinvested in the position with high draft capital and a lot of money, $45 million in free agent money to bring in Conklin and Uzomah. And Ruckert also had an injury at the Senior Bowl. He had a Liz Frank injury. Or a plantar fasciitis, excuse me. And so he had injuries and inconsistencies, and he dropped the football. And it looked like Jeremy Ruckert was heading for at least the end of his Jets career, and maybe worse, heading into this season. And Jeremy Ruckert deserves a ton of credit, an absolutely ton of credit, for saving his career and doing it. And I just want to highlight this real quick. I see there's a lot of comments on this. Yo Holmes says, Ruckert is a league minimum guy at best. Gross overpay for a shit player. I saw someone say this on Twitter, and I'll repeat it. People that are shitting on this contract just hate Darren Mucci and Aaron Glenn. Because essentially, this appears to be similar to the Josh Myers deal. Like, more details are coming out in the Josh Myers deal, where it says 2-year deal on the surface, but a 1-year deal and rewarding a guy and a gross overpay, I think, is overstating. He's a tight end too. Rich Cimini says he's someone that bought into the program that they like. He has been much better catching the football. He has 20 catches on 23 targets. He's been solid as a blocker. He's kind of a do-it-all man. The Jets have used him a few times at fullback this year, which is something we talked about in the offseason. Tony Richardson worked with Jeremy Ruckert on playing fullback. So he's a versatile guy. He's a team guy. And again, we've got all kinds of money. We're going to complain about a 2-year deal for $10 million for Ruckert. So I just feel like any complaining about gross overpay, like let's rein it in, drama queen. Okay, in the yearbook was Yo Holmes 273 on the most likely to be dramatic about random things. Well then, Yo Holmes, you just won the award. Gross overpay, that's over the top. I think it's fine. Again, and I want to admit I'm wrong. Jeremy Ruckert, while we all loved him initially, who wouldn't, right? Jets fan, him and his dad, his family, Ohio State product. He seemed to have this untapped potential in college where the raw numbers weren't overwhelming, but you're like, man, you just see the traits and they should extrapolate once you get to National Football League. That didn't happen. So I'm happy for Ruckert. I'm happy. The dream stays alive. The dream of a childhood Jets fan getting drafted by his hometown team and then now getting an extension from said team. I like the proactive nature from Darren Mucci. I like rewarding these guys. This is not winning headlines on ESPN, of course, signing Jeremy Ruckert or Josh Myers, a couple of Ohio State Buckeyes. But to me, cool, rewarding your own. Some of your guys in the building. These aren't frontline crazy guys. But okay, no skin off my back. They didn't sign him to a 10-year, $100 million deal. It's a 2-year deal for $10 million. Who gives a shit? That's nothing crazy to me. So, yeah, I don't mind that at all. And again, admit I'm wrong. Hey, Jeremy. Your career was on the line, and you saved it, man. I couldn't. As a Jets fan, I want every player on this team to do well. Every player. Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, Jeremy Ruckert, Eric Watts, Francisco Mauigoa, Tony Adams. Name the player. And even if it's a player that I'm not super high on, like every player on this roster, I'm like, yeah, I freaking love that guy. Maybe not. But I want them to prove me wrong. If anyone I feel a little less about, and they kill it, phenomenal. I'm a Jets fan. I don't give a shit who scores a touchdown. Someone score a touchdown. So I've got absolutely no issues with that whatsoever. But come on, gross overpay. People, we don't have to be dramatic. We don't have to be hyperbolic. Jeremy Ruckert got a fine deal. Good for him. We'll wait for the further details to come out. But I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that. Yo Holmes, by the way, he said, do it all, man. He has 100 yards receiving. As a matter of fact, Jeremy Ruckert has already set new career highs. So we want to, have some jokes for old Jeremy Ruckert. Well, let's show some love to Jeremy Ruckert for this. He's already amid a career season. Here are the numbers. Let me give them to you as you want to make some Jeremy Ruckert jokes. The 25-year-old, okay, he's appeared in 14 games this season. He's made 12 starts. He has set a new career high in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. He has 20 catches, 163 receiving yards. He has shortchanged him, Yo Holmes, which does not surprise me. And he had the first touchdown of his NFL career. So 163 yards. And there's been a versatile chess piece for old Tanner Engstrand on this team. And there's 3 games to go to pad these stats. And with Mason Taylor out, I imagine he will pad some of those stats. The thing that used to frustrate me about Jeremy Ruckert is we didn't target him 100 times. So let's say we target him 10 times. I don't know. And then he dropped like 3 or 4 of the balls. I hated that percentage. I'm like, good Lord, every time we go to this guy, he sucks. So he's turned it around. He's put in the work. Aaron Glenn says that he's been roasting Ruckert since training camp because he's aware of what lies beneath the surface. So I'm good with Jeremy Ruckert. I'm good. Seems to be a good guy. Again, you get a tight end too. And by the way, the money's not crazy. And the money's not crazy, and you can add more tight ends. This doesn't prevent tight ends solved for the Jets. Hopefully it is because we have Mason Taylor too. But with the injury and everything, he's just a fine guy. I don't know how that bothers people. It's just fine. Philium jumping in. Both Myers and Ruckert contracts are overpays. Maybe not gross, but overpays for sure. Having money to spend doesn't mean spend it unwisely. I'd push back on both. On the gross, not gross thing, we can discuss this, that, or the other. But I put it this way. So Josh Myers, when we signed him for a 1-year deal for $2 million, we'll start with Josh since he was added. Jeremy Ruckert's on a rookie contract. We'll start with Myers. A 1-year deal for $2 million for Josh Myers was a gross underpay, if we're going to call it anything. He was a 56-game starter with the Green Bay Packers, and he was the starting center since birth. Once he was drafted, he was the starter for the Packers. The only reason he doesn't have a full slate of 4 years of starting experience was due to injury, or else he would have started for 4 full years with the Green Bay Packers, teams that went to the playoffs. So to get a starting center for $2 million was a gross underpay. So if you flip it the other way, it's all just coming full circle. Josh Myers over-exceeded expectations. When you sign a guy to a 1-year, $2 million deal, that's nothing money. And he was a key piece of the puzzle. Who the hell is starting at center? So what all happens? Let's break down the offensive line, right? Let's say the Jets don't sign Josh Myers. So you have Olu Muiwa-Fashanu, left tackle, all right. You have John Simpson, left guard, okay. You have Joe Tim at center, okay. Right guard, as soon as ABT went down, who the fuck is starting there? And then before you answer that question, so we have Armand Membu at right tackle. The Jets are the only team in the NFL that have started the same 5 offensive linemen all season long. Only team in the NFL that's done that. And Josh Myers deserves a lot of credit. He is one of those 5. And as a matter of fact, an important one of those 5. He's the guy who's snapping the football and making the play, the protection calls. So Josh Myers, and I think it works out for everybody, unlike the Josh Myers contract. Especially when you break it down. I don't see this overpay that people are talking about on Josh Myers. I don't see it. You look at how the cap hits break down, it's dandy, it's fine, it's on. There's nothing crazy about it, to be honest with you. If you look at the contract breakdown, Josh Myers did a solid for the team. The team did a solid for Josh Myers. Josh Myers gets a significant raise. He was making $2 million this year. Okay. So he gets a significant raise on that, and the Jets get protection. Because that's what it is. Signing Josh Myers, and this is the same thing about the Ruckert thing, which maybe some people are missing. I think that the thing about this, when we're talking about Myers and Ruckert for that matter, is that gives the Jets someone for now, but it doesn't prevent them from doing anything later. If Tyler Linderbaum, which I'm sure we'll do a show on his own thing ahead of free agency, if he reaches free agency, if the Jets say, hey, we want Tyler Linderbaum, this Josh Myers deal doesn't prevent them from signing Tyler Linderbaum. If they love a center in the draft, this Josh Myers signing does not prevent them from being able to do that. So it's perfect. You don't leave yourself with nothing and you're desperate and you just go to free agency or the draft. You're like, geez, we don't have a center, or geez, we don't have a guard. This gives you an option. An option, which again, for 2 years, $10 million with $6 million guaranteed, or 2 years, $11 million rather, with $6 million guaranteed, and how the money spread out. Minimal dead cap hits to move on. I don't know, man. I think it's a fine deal. I'm not writing it home oh boy, this is the greatest contract of all time. But I don't think there's any extreme opinions necessary there. And I disagree with this too. I see Phillyman here says, I understand and don't have a problem with Myers being extended. Doubt he would have received the same number. Doubt he would have received the same number in free agency. Same with Ruckert. If you the way I'm hearing that is you doubt it like they would have gotten less in free agency. And I don't agree with that. People get overpaid in free agency all the time. So I think it's smart on the Jets to be proactive and lock some of these guys in, because I'm sure the Jets have bigger fish to fry. When you have $100 million in cap space, the Jets are going to be looking for massive additions here, there, or the other. So getting your house in order well ahead of time, to me, I think is smart. All right, tight end 2, Jeremy Ruckert. Again, that's not sexy, but okay. Josh Myers, positional flexibility, a guy that has played guard in the past, but in the National Football League, he's exclusively played center. I like having that on the team. Again, it gives you optionality. When you get to a draft, you don't have to force this pick or this pick. If Richie, you're like, geez, we got to get something here. Like Josh Myers, we'll see what happens in the final 3 games of the season. He's been the starting center all year long. Great, phenomenal, excellent, wonderful, and seemed to be a good guy in the locker room that everyone seems to rally around. So I think, to be honest, I think it was a smart play on the money, too, because in free agency, people get overpaid all the time. Who knows, right? Jeremy Ruckert signs a 2-year, $10 million. Maybe someone else values him a lot more, and he could have gotten more money. But it works out for both. Jeremy Ruckert and his family are diehard Jet fans. So the Jets get Jeremy Ruckert to stay a Jet. They give him a contract. They're estimating what they think he's worth. I've got no problem with either of these deals. I'm sure we'll welcome phone calls on the matter as well. I think it's fine. And now the question is, for me, is who's next? Because I put this up on Twitter. I'll throw this up on the screen before we go to the phone lines here. With Myers and Ruckert being signed as pending free agents, and now it's happened twice in the last 2 weeks. Is there anyone else that's a pending free agent that the Jets are like, hey, let's lock in this guy? And I was looking at the list, and I'll throw this up here in a second. Let's do this. Let me throw this up. Okay, let's put this up right here. This isn't everyone, because as I noticed, there's a few that aren't on this list that Spot Track didn't include. But we'll talk about that later. Like Nick Folk isn't on this list. But we'll figure that out in a second. The thing I wanted to say is, who is the next guy to be signed here on this list? Here we go. All right, so let's throw this up. So this may be hard to see for some of you, and I'll turn off the banner for just a second. But these are all the free agents the Jets have coming up on your screen right now. For audio-only listeners, I'll read a bunch to you. This is unrestricted, restricted. There's some ERFAs in here. That's an exclusive rights free agent. That's just sort of a fancy term for the Jets control their rights, so it's nothing to go crazy about. But who is the next guy the Jets could sign proactively to prevent them from reaching the open market? Here's a list. I'll run through a bunch of them. And here we go. And this is in no particular order. Excuse me. Andre Sisco, Tyrod Taylor, John Simpson, Quincy Williams, Elijah Vera-Tucker, Tony Adams, Josh Reynolds, Isaiah Oliver, Breece Hall, John Metchie III, restricted free agent, Chris Boyd, Kene Nguanu, Stone Smart, Jelani Woods, Chukwuma Okorafor, Andrew Beck, Jay Tufele, Max Mitchell, Michael Clemens, Xavier Newman Johnson, Jasir Taylor, Cam Jones, restricted free agent, Juwan Briggs, ERFA, that's an exclusive rights free agent, and then Marcelino McCurry Ball, our team captain, RFA, restricted free agent. That's a bunch of them. Again, there's another name or two on the list that didn't make it for Spot Track for whatever reason, like Nick Folk is on this list as well, but we'll put that aside. So who of this list, you guys can make your guesses in the YouTube comments section, whether you're watching live or after the fact. And speaking of, make sure you guys like the video. That's a free way to contribute to this program. Make sure you guys do so. Let me see. How many people do we have in the room? We've got a couple hundred people in the room right now, which we appreciate. Make sure you guys like that video. That's a free way to contribute. I see we have over 100 people, but only 38 likes. Guys, make sure you do that. Please, appreciate you. Now, let's go back to this list. I'll just give you a couple of quick comments. Andre Sisco, I don't think he's coming back. Tyrod Taylor, I don't think he's coming back. John Simpson, it's probably him or AVT, and AVT is also on this list. I think they pick one of them to stay. My gut probably says Simpson. Quincy Williams, he's gone. Tony Adams, he's gone. Josh Reynolds, he's gone. Isaiah Oliver, he's gone. Breece Hall, we'll see what happens. It's up in the air. I'll say he stays. John Metchie III, restricted free agent, he's staying. Chris Boyd, I mean, his entire future is up in the air, so I'll sort of leave that one unnamed for now, / not coming back. Kene Nguanu. That's my guess right now of who, again, I've openly asked this question. Who is the next guy the Jets proactively signed ahead of time? I believe Kene Nguanu will be that guy. I think the Jets lock him in. Special teams have been great this year. I think the Jets are proactive to make sure Kene does not hit the open market. We'll see if I'm right. Stone Smart, gone. Johnny Woods, gone. Chukwuma Okorafor, we haven't heard from him all year, so I have no idea how he's been in the locker room and things of that nature, but I'd love to bring him back because it didn't sound like we had any issues, and I thought he was a sneaky good signing for the Jets. We never had to see what it is, thankfully, because of no injuries, but I bring Chooks back. Andrew Beck, probably bring back. That was Muji's first signing with the Jets. Jay Tufele, gone. Max Mitchell comes back. It sounds like I've heard good things on Max Mitchell from the team. Michael Clemens, sorry, Indy, he's probably gone. Xavier Newman-Johnson, he's probably gone. Jasir Taylor, he's probably gone. Cam Jones, restricted free agent, so they can keep him for cheap. He's staying. Juwan Briggs, ERFA, they can definitely keep him for cheap. He's staying. And Marcelino McCrary Ball, they seem to like a lot too, so he stays. So there it is. So my guess for who could, again, my overall guess, if I had a gun to my head, the guy who sticks around proactively, like if Muji signs someone else to a deal next week, I think it's Kene Nguanu. But there's a couple other guys on the list. That could fit that billing potentially here on the program. Fascinating, though. You guys could continue to let us know in the comment section. Who do you think that guy is going to be? For sure. All right, let me see. Alon says he sees maybe 4 or 5 guys on that list. Matthew Durant says our O-line health this year has been historic. Our bench has barely seen any time on the field. They've actually seemed like no time on the field. There's only been a few times where a guy's been sort of nicked up in the middle of the game, and then someone briefly comes in, and then they're briefly out. So blessed be he, offensive line health. And not so twofold thing here. I've said this before, but I think it's worth repeating. So the Jets are the only team in the NFL that have started the same 5 offensive linemen all season long. That's impressive. Whoa, offensive line health in this season for any NFL team, impressive. But for the Jets as a franchise, they haven't started the same 5 offensive linemen through 14 games of a season since 2012. We have to go back 13 years to the last time that a Jets team has accomplished that feat. In the NFL, the Jets are the only team to do it this year. But as a Jets team, it hasn't happened in 13 years. So very impressive. So blessed be he. I'm super happy about that because the Jets had a ton of injury issues last year. Olu got hurt. Tyron got hurt. I mean, it was a mess. An absolute mess. Booby says no player wants to return to this crab barrel organization. I've never heard crab barrel before. But that's a good one. Apparently Jeremy Ruckert and Josh Myers feel differently, but all right. Let's go to the old Gare Bear 724 says, I hope we keep Beck. I think we will. He's one of our highest Pro Bowl representative right now in the Pro Bowl voting process. And like I said, I think there's a thing with him and Muji. Muji knew him from Denver and brought him back. So, yeah, I would imagine Beck comes back. Okay, Gare Bear says, Kane's come back for sure. I hope so. He's a former All-Pro, so I imagine he could be tantalized by the right team to be their return man, but I do hope they keep him because Isaiah's been a phenomenal punt returner. Kane's been a phenomenal kick returner. Isaiah's actually been really good in kick returns too, but Isaiah Williams this year has been our great punt returner for the season. By the way, people ask about Isaiah Williams all the time. He is on lock and key for the foreseeable future. They have him under contract, obviously right now. They have him under contract for next year, and then they have him as a restricted free agent after that. So the Jets have Isaiah Williams for the foreseeable future for those who don't know. So, yeah, so they got him on lock for a while. They have him at least under contract through 2026. So, yeah, Isaiah Williams, don't worry about it. He's not on the list. He doesn't have to be. They already have him locked in. So, smart signing there. But I'd like to keep Kene in there, too. Some other suggestions here. So, Ricky New York Live says, Briggs for sure. Folk, I'd keep Simpson. The rest can all walk, and we re-sign Brees. Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else on this list I really want. Yeah, again, Simpson, I would like Simpson back. Brees Hall would be fun. John Metchie III can definitely come back as an RFA. I'd love John Metchie III back. You know, we'll see what he's had some up and down games or some of the drops, but totally worth it to come back. So I'd take John Metchie III. So Juwan Briggs, obviously. I would take John Metchie III, of course. Like I said, Chukwuma Okorafor, I would take back. Yeah. There's a decent like 5-6 guys on the list, something like that, maybe. There are some that I just like. Josh Reynolds, see ya. Absolutely not. Get the hell out of here. Corey Sturgis here. If the Jets are going to sign somebody early for an extension, wouldn't have been Brees? That kind of tells me that he may get the chance to test market. I wouldn't read that at all, Troy, to be honest with you, because like it's a two-way street. Brees smells free agency, so I'm sure Brees. Like if Brees is going to sign an early extension, it better be a good deal because for him, because here's the thing: if I'm Brees Hall, I'm like, all right. I can test free agency, which is great, and I could get the most amount of money possible. Or the Jets are going to franchise tag me, or transition tag. We've debated all these different things they could do between 12 and 14 million bucks, basically, and tag me. If they don't give me at least 12 or 14 million per year, then why would I sign early? I'm going to force them to use a franchise tag to pay that money, and then the negotiations begin. So if the Jets aren't willing, maybe they're just not, I don't know this. Maybe they're just not willing to do the franchise tag at all. And then Brees hits the open market and he gets what he wants. But I wouldn't judge it based on the fact that an extension hasn't happened yet means he's clearly tested the waters. Again, if I'm in a position of power, which I would be as Brees Hall, like, if you don't want me to go to free agency, franchise tag me or give me a great offer, like to prevent me from reaching free agency. Like your offer is so good, I don't need to test the market because that's how much you're paying. So no, I wouldn't read too much into that yet. It's very, very early. Again, that's why we're giving Moochie credit for being quote unquote proactive. He's going out of his way to be ahead, months and months and months ahead. So yes, for sure. Dave Brigger says, I believe Simpson and Quincy are gone. Quincy gone for sure. I don't think Simpson. But again, I think they probably can't keep both Simpson and AVT. That's probably unrealistic because Olu's starting, Armand's starting, Tippman's starting. Myers, I don't think is locked in as a starter. And then John and AVT, like, are we just going to go back to the 5 who are supposed to be before the season? Maybe. But I don't know. I'm not sure. The thing I don't know is I haven't spoken with AVT. I don't know how he feels about the Jets. Does he love the Jets? Does he not love the Jets? I don't know. Yeah. The people that are losing their minds about Ruckert, you're just you're an old man yelling on the porch. I don't get that one. There's plenty of things to yell at the Jets for. Obviously, they're 3-11 for God's sakes. But Jeremy Ruckert, I don't think is a hill to die on, personally. But hey, different strokes, different strokes. Yoham says Ruckert clearly is a veteran league minimum guy at best. Well, what other choice is there? Veteran league minimum. You can't go any lower than veteran league minimum. So he's that at best. Like you're saying, like he's not even a rosterable player in the NFL, which the numbers wouldn't say that's true. Again, 20 catches on 23 targets. That's an NFL player. Is he a superstar tight end? Is he Travis Kelce and Trey McBride, all these guys? Well, no, but not everyone is. That's fine. You could be a serviceable role player. There's nothing wrong with that. And by the way, Mason Taylor's in front of him. What stats did you think he was going to put up this year? So but that's the thing where I get lost on with Ruckert. So we all thought he stunk before this year. Like, boy, this guy sucks. And then he has a career year and catches, yards, and touchdowns. We're like, those stats aren't that impressive. All right. Okay, so first you thought he sucked. Then he does something like, well, it's not even that good. Like, okay, if you just hate Ruckert, you hate Ruckert. Like for me, I've had a journey. At the beginning when he was drafted, loved Ruckert. A great story. Then as I saw him play, I'm like, I hate Ruckert. And then now he's great. Let me not go over the top. So I loved the story. I saw him play. I'm like, yikes, he stinks. And then this year, he has a career season. I'm like, okay, all right, welcome to the squad, buddy. Like it was just an evolution. People can evolve. I don't think we have to just stick to a take. Like if there's a player I didn't like and he's doing well for the Jets, I'm not going to go, fuck that guy. Like, no, I'm a Jets fan. But anyway. Mr. Chill 21 King, what about JJ? Interesting question. So JJ has 1 year left on his deal after this season. That's a 5th-year option for 2026. That's a fully guaranteed number. Jermaine, of course, is eligible to discuss an extension. Now, this is where we get interesting, Mr. Chill 211 King. Is for JJ, if he tries to negotiate an extension this offseason, I imagine he's not in a position of leverage. He has 3 sacks this year. He's gone a month without getting a sack. He's coming off a torn Achilles. So, I want to give him his grace. I'm not trying to overreact to the season, but if I'm the Jets, I'm not paying some crazy price for no reason. So if Jermaine gets an extension this offseason, I imagine it's a sweetheart deal for the Jets. And maybe that'll work out great because if Jermaine comes back full flower in 2026, you're like, holy shit, what a deal. Cha-ching for the Jets. Now, Jermaine may just bet on himself and say, you know what? This year wasn't what I was hoping for. I was coming off the Achilles. 2026, I'm going to kill it. And then let's play it out. Let's play the deal out. Either I'm great, and then you'll have to use a franchise tag on me. I'm bad, and then that's not an option. I'm somewhere in the middle, and then you try to extend me. So, like, there's a lot of ways that could go. But yes, JJ is under contract through 2026. He says one more year on his deal. It's a 5th-year option. Troy Sturgis, if the Chiefs wouldn't have given us a 2nd-round pick, is he worth franchising? I don't look at things that way. Another team's actions does not determine my actions. The fact that they were unwilling to give a 3rd for Breece Hall does not mean, man, I guess he's not worth a franchise. Information yesterday is not the same as information today. Again, it's a complicated thing here with Breece. He was on pace for a career season, and then he's fallen off a cliff. Has he fallen off a cliff because he's playing with an undrafted free agent quarterback, and every team in the league is like, well, you're not going to run on me, and they're loading up the box? I don't know. Is Breece Hall struggling with some injury issues that we're not aware of? Maybe. It's up to what the team thinks on Breece. But he was on pace in the middle of this year for a career season. He was on pace for 1,200 rushing yards. Like, holy shit, there he is. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Breece. Whether it's franchise tag, extension, nothing. Maybe let him walk. I don't know. Yeah. I can't believe how much Ruckert discourse there is. To be honest, for me, like Jeremy Ruckert does not move. Like this is a Jet show, and we talk about Jets every single day. So, like that's something we talk about on the show. It didn't headline a show, but relatively, it's not a massive needle mover. He's a tight end 2. A serviceable fullback fill-in if Andrew Beck is unavailable. Like, I don't know. He's just a guy. He's one of the players on the 53-man roster. I don't know. Ostrin says a Nick Folk extension. Yeah, as long as he wants to keep playing, I'm cool. I will stick with Nick Folk. Moving up. Yeah, give me some more Nick Folk action. Deshaun says, hopefully JJ returns to form next year. That would be amazing. So many people have changed their opinions on Jermaine. At the trade deadline, everyone's like, don't trade Jermaine. And then there's a lot of people now, get rid of Jermaine. And I'm like, whoa. I love Jermaine. It has this elite mentality. It's hard to explain. I wish I had the clip from the offseason. He was promoting something at the Super Bowl, and he was just talking about his mentality. I'm like, man, that's infectious. I wish every player on the Jets had that mentality of how he sees the game, how he is as a teammate and all that. That just, I love it. And now, like I said, with the lack of play or the poor play, whatever you want to call it, or lack of big plays for Jermaine, a lot of people jumped off the train. I'm not jumping off the train of Jermaine. Again, I think he needs his grace for coming off an Achilles. I think, we sometimes see a superhero come off an Achilles and look awesome. And then that changes our perception of how people should be coming back from injuries. Every injury is different. Old Yank, do you think we sign Briggs to an extension? That's an interesting question. To be honest, I'm curious if the Jets take advantage of the contractual situation. So for Juwan Briggs, let me see if they have the money available on this, and then we'll open up the phone lines here on the program. Let me see. Again, he is set to be an ERFA. Let me see if I have the money on that. I believe we don't. So Juwan Briggs made less than $1 million this season. And he is set to be an ERFA, which, again, is an exclusive rights free agent. That's basically dirt cheap money. I'm curious if they do extend him and do something nice, or do they take advantage of their contractual advantage? Like ERFA is like nothing money. Do they let him keep playing out on that before they have to pay him? Probably, because as nice as I'm sure the Jets are, like I don't want to overrate this. Like, they hit the proverbial jackpot with what Juwan Briggs is. They're not winning the Super Bowl because of Juwan Briggs, but like that trade of giving up nothing and getting something for him, and you're like, wow, what a young upside player to position to need. This is great. Like, you won the jackpot from that perspective, and now you have him for dirt cheap. Maybe you just juice out the dirt cheap thing, and then you pay him whenever you have to pay him, or see it again, especially because the scheme's changing defensively. So I think that's another factor. We don't want to overpay someone before we know what's going to happen there. A couple of other things here. Lane Train, how do you feel about Brady Cook? I like Brady Cook. I want to keep seeing what he brings to the table. Again, 1 touchdown to 5 pick interception ratio is not something I have on the bingo card. But I like the kid. He's got good moxie, and let's keep seeing him continue to build on it. Alon, BG, if a team offers a 2+ for JJ, I'd be tempted. If a team offers a 3 for McDonald, I'd deal him. Yeah, so here is the thing on JJ. I know, Alon, this is what you're saying moving forward. If this happens moving forward, you'd be into it. Now, Connor Hughes said during the trade deadline, there's all this rumor stuff leading up to it, that the Jets wanted a 2 for Jermaine, and they wouldn't do anything less. And then at one point, Connor Hughes maybe misspoke, but on one of the shows, he said the Jets have an offer for Jermaine on the table for a 2 at the deadline. They said no. And then when he just talked about it again, because they did this segment on Jets Final Drive, is do the Jets regret not trading one of these guys? And Connor Hughes says, I know the Jets had a 3 on the table for Jermaine, but previously he said they had a 2. So maybe he just has all his notes confused. I'll have to text him and try to get clarity on that. Because he did say it, and now he's saying something different. So I'm not sure. But it depends. That also is their evaluation of this season. Do they think that this year was a blip because of the Achilles, or they're like, oh boy, maybe Jermaine isn't the same player? If that's true, then maybe the 2+ makes sense. But I like Jermaine a lot. The McDonald thing, again, we went through it yesterday. I just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because I like the person. I like the person. And he's super talented. And to see him blow up on another team would hurt me. A third. I don't know if that's enough. And I'm not saying like teams should pay more. I'm just saying for me, I'm not sure if that's enough to move my needle. Say, oh yeah, gotta move him for a third, especially with team control for 2 seasons, likely when you accept the 5th-year option. I don't know. That's a good question though. That's a good one. All right, let's do this, folks. We've got a couple hundred people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Guys, if you are just joining us, you can either rewatch the show and go back to the beginning for your Fernando Mendoza love, or you can read the article in the YouTube description down below. We have 300 people in the room, and over 150 of those 300 are on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. We are a week from Christmas, and we have Boy Green Daily every single day, including on Christmas, folks. Make sure you guys like the video. We have over 150 people in the room, but 47 likes. 100 of you are just watching. It's getting weird, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button here on the video. And if you like, feel free to call into the show. We're about to open up the phone lines at youtube.com/boygreen25. Let's also give a shout out. Let's keep the love going because we have our raffle this month. Every single month on this YouTube channel, we have a raffle to give back to Jet fans. And to be eligible for a raffle giveaways, all you have to do is spend $3 on the channel. $3 gets your raffle ticket. There are no limits to how many raffle tickets you can buy. So if you give 10 Boy Green Coffee Cup memberships, you have 10 raffle tickets. Of course, that increases your chances of winning the prize. We'll give away the prize on the 1st of every month. So throughout the previous month, that's when you can add up your raffle tickets. So we're here on December 18th. Every $3 you guys spend for the rest of December gets you a raffle ticket for our contest. How about a Jet Santa Funko Pop, baby? Booyah! Nice, brand new, festive holiday season. Sure, why not? We have our Nick Mangold tribute shirt. That's straight from the Jets. A true Jet 74. Nick Mangold on the cover. That's all there. Plus, we have our Boy Green Woody tailgate package in a box, which we'll be sending along as well. That'll be coming up here on the program. We'll take your phone calls for a bit. And then we got some other shows to record today. But yes, baby, let's go. And again, remember... Jets are smitten. apparently. And I'm Smitten with some phone calls. We'll play quick halftime out. Your phone calls next. Again, no matter where you're watching, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. YouTube is the place to be able to call into the program if you'd like to do so. Also, shout out to the people that replay this show later. Perhaps, you watch it in the afternoon or whenever you choose to partake in Boy Green Daily. We appreciate it. Also, a shout out to the audio-only listeners. If I never did the audio-only version, Boy Green Daily would not exist right now. That's how I cut my teeth for the first 10 or so years of doing this podcast. So shout out to all those people that continue to listen wherever you listen. Have time out. More coming up after this.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. I'm talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets football club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets. Boy Green, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go!
Yes, Hep, let's frickin' go. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into the program. I'm Paul Esden Jr., your humble host, a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. I write articles about the Jets, do podcasts about the Jets. As a matter of fact, we have this show going on right now. We also have Boy Green Meets Woody. I've locked in a Saints insider to talk about that crazy game. We'll be doing that at 3 o'clock live here on the show. That is Boy Green Meets Woody, my afternoon program I do here on the channel. It's the same channel. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button so you never miss a program. A couple of comments here, and then we'll get right back to the phone lines here on the program. Matthew Duran says, JJ loves being a Jet. Would love to see a C on his jersey next year. That's for sure. Again, I talked about that leadership earlier. That would be wonderful. I would love to see Jermaine get that. He would be very deserving, certainly. Mr. Chill 211 King says, Quincy gone, but how do you feel about Sherwood? Quincy's gone for sure, but Sherwood, you better just praise and hope to the gods that it's a Wilkes thing. Like he's just out of position or something, and that's the reason why, because he looked so good last year, and this year was so bad. Is the truth somewhere in the middle, or is he really just around? If he is, that's not great from a contractual perspective. But no, Jamin seems to be a hard worker from all the, like, they don't have an origin story on him, but they have like that kind of Jets film stuff behind the scenes. He seems like a hard worker, but I don't freaking know. Unclear. And do I like Justin Fields? Well, I liked him a lot better before I heard that he was being a real puss. But yes, I mean, I did like him before. That's for sure. Anywho, let's get to the phone lines. You guys have all your overflowing questions. They're terrific. Let's kick things off. The Hepster. What's up, Hep?
Hey, guys. Hey, Paul. I noticed that Mendoza has a striking resemblance to one of our own, Mr. Famous Fulton.
Interesting. Let me get a picture here. Let's take a gander. Here. Let's see. All right, let's get this guy. Okay, let me throw this up real quick. Let me see this. All right, come on, internet. Come on, you bastard. Here we go.
Right? Put a little mustache on her.
All right, let's see. We have Mr. Famous Fulton on the chat. Hey, Mr. Famous, can you jump on camera real quick?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
Wait. All right, well, 1 second. Let me see if I can do this properly.
No.
Let me see. Is there a way to? I'm trying to see how I can do this. All right, so let me see, Mr. Famous Fulton. Okay, stay right there. Okay.
Stay right there. All right.
Okay. All right. Okay, now let me go back to this. Oh, what the hell? Where did this go?
No.
Here it is. Okay, let me go back to this. All right. And then let me go back to Mr. Famous Fulton here. Okay, let me go back to you. Okay. And go back to image.
Right?
You know what? There is something going on there.
Yeah,
There's
right?
something going on there. I'll be right back with you, Mr. Famous Fulton. But yes, okay. Yeah, I think you're onto something, Hep.
Put a Hoosier jersey on him, and he'd be like one of those, like a lookalike.
Could he actually be Fernando Mendoza, and he just calls in as Mr. Famous Fulton.
Like, yeah, an alter ego, like, right.
Yeah.
One other quick question. Have you been showing Zariah like the Santa Claus is coming to town and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stuff?
Yes, 100%. So we've been starting to do some of the Christmas stuff, and one of the things she says, and I'm going to have to get eventually when Paulie's speaking up a storm, we'll have to get him for one of these videos, but she keeps walking around the house going, ho, ho, ho. So she's getting that one, which is cute. So yes, of course, the film study of the Christmas movies, the classics, all that. Yeah, it's a gradual process. Again, week from Christmas, we gotta increase the volume of getting these in. Burning the midnight oil and things of that nature for sure. Yeah,
Frosty the Snowman, all that stuff.
Sure. Yeah. The triplets, right? There's Rudolph, Frosty, and whatever the other one is. I'm missing.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yes, thank you. Yes, that comes in. You get that little 3-pack DVD pack. So boom. You can hit them all. So yes. Oh yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. There he is. Hep. Again, let me see this. Very peculiar. Very interesting. Again, let me go back to Mr. Famous Fulton real quick. Mr. Famous Fulton, can you hop back up on camera one more time?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah, let me see again. Mr. Famous Fulton. All right. Okay. All right, there he is. Okay, and then there's... Well, can I ask you a question, Mr. Famous Fulton?
Sure, go ahead, Paul.
Are you Heisman winning quarterback Fernando Mendoza?
I guess so.
Okay, well, folks, you heard it here. That's just science. All right, great. Well, thanks for calling into the show all these years.
Yeah.
All right, anywho, what's on your mind, Mr. Famous Fulton?
Well, about to go to my date with my girlfriend this Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Seeing that Avatar movie that's playing.
You got to give us a full report card. You got to let me know. Someone just told me this is going to be the best Avatar movie of all time.
It's gonna be a 3-hour movie, Paul.
Gee, salute. Make sure you have your Red Bull or whatever to stay up. That's
I know, right? I don't know if I could drink Red Bull because I know I need to not drink anything, but
that's
some water.
That's a good point. Yeah, that would be not healthy. That's for sure. Hey, is this MTV Cribs? Are you giving us a look at the house? What's going on here?
Never mind. It's I don't know what's going on.
That's all right. What's on your mind?
Well, I just had physical therapy yesterday.
Okay, how'd that go?
Dr. Brad.
Of course. Yes.
He said doing pretty good on those exercises, and got to go back on the 24th on Christmas Eve at 9:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a long day on Saturday. I mean, next Wednesday, and it's just gonna take a bit of time. So
that's all right. Again, with all rehab, you just got a proper TLC, and you should come back stronger than ever, Mr. Famous Fulton.
Yep. How's Johnny Boy doing?
Good question. No, I haven't talked to him. I guess you could ask him yourself. Johnny Boy, how are you?
Hey, good morning,
man. Hey, how you feeling, bud?
Doing good, man. Doing really well. Feeling a lot better, man.
Yeah.
Got good news. Looks like.
What's the good news?
I'm gonna be getting sent home. So.
Hey.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
Yeah, let's frickin' go, baby. Let's go.
So when.
That's exciting news. That is freaking exciting news.
It's J-E-T-S, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
J-E-T-S, Jets. Yes.
Johnny, boy, do you know how much money I had to spend for the village people to come up in here with that YMCA right there? That's a hefty royalty fee, but I was willing to do it for you. There we go. Thank you, Bob Lederer.
So best one was Bob's. Bob's.
Yeah.
I start laughing every time, man.
So when are you gonna be out of the hospital, Johnny?
Looks like today. Like
wow.
Wow.
Everything's getting cleared up. I'm having a couple of like discharge stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guess the prayers worked, didn't it?
Oh yeah, man. Always, man. Thank you to everybody, but I'm excited, man. I'll be home before Christmas. So
beautiful. That's excellent news. Well, first off, Mr. Famous Fulton, thank you so much, and
yep,
hope
I'm
the date
sending you
goes
guys a
great this
Christmas
weekend.
card. Just let me know what your address is, and I can send it to you on the way.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Mr. Famous Fulton. We'll check back in with you and enjoy those movies coming up this weekend. And thank you guys for all the prayers and the special song that Mr. Famous Fulton had for Johnny earlier this week on the original Christmas. So awesome news, Johnny. That is terrific.
J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets.
Yes.
Beautiful.
If you watch that video, am I muted? Oh, I'm good.
No, it only, I think it automatically mutes all of us when something plays. So no, you're good.
His face doesn't move.
Let me see.
J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets.
Yes.
Yeah. Mouth. It's literally just his mouth when he does it. That's what makes me laugh every single time. So he's like, J-E.
It's a little nutcrackerish. Yeah.
Yes, exactly, man. All right. But yeah, this is exciting news, man. Like, I'm so hyped. First off, man, thank you to everybody that's reached out and been able to be just you guys again. Yeah, I don't know how much it meant to me and means to me that everybody reached out. It's helped out a lot and pushed through. We're getting there, man. I passed through all the solids, passed through the stuff that I need. Just a couple of little small things that I got to do today, which won't be nothing. And then I'm heading home, man. So
wow. Well, congratulations, man. Man, that was I will tell you. When I got the text from Snowball, I got out of nowhere, and I didn't see it initially. I was running around, and I just went. It just stopped me. I went, "What kind of weird nightmare world am I in?" When I saw the text about the update he gave about you when we knew nothing. It was just an update from. I thought you were just healthy as an ox running around out there, and then that text let me know that was not the case. So it's like, oh my goodness. So it sent me, and I'm sure a lot of us in our Jets community are like, oh my goodness, this is you just never know what can happen. So it is 100%. Great to hear to get your interactions in the comment section, you calling in and then delivering all these batches of good news recently is terrific news. So I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the family. Yeah, especially with Christmas, literally a week away today. I was worried that you weren't going to be able to be home for Christmas, man. So that's good for you and the kids, man.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it was looking like that at one point, right? But, my faith and prayer, man, and the community and everybody. So, again, my spirits were always high. I never wavered, right? So just continue to keep marching forward and taking it day by day. That's all we can do. So again, man, just reach out to somebody if you ever get a chance to, guys. Someone you haven't spoken to in a while, and simple, hey, I hope you're doing okay. Hope everything is well. But BG, so
yes, sir.
Extended Ruck, and there's been conversations now about JJ and Will. I wanted to talk about a little bit about the JJ and Ruck convo.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I don't think they broke the bank on Ruck, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
And so what's the primary job of a tight end?
I believe it's to block.
Right. So his blocking got a lot better this year. Was that not one of his big things in regards to that?
I mean, it was.
So he's not going to be tight end 1, and Mason Taylor is that dude. So now you got these guys that can be locked up, right, that have been together for at least for the next 3 years, including this year, right? So he extended for 2 years. So cool with that. Great. Yeah. Get it out of the way now. We don't need to be dealing with any of the stuff that's coming up in the offseason when you got other positions that you need to be looking at. JJ's coming off a bad year. Would it not be beneficial for us to actually sign him now and do the extension and get it out of the way now? But if next year he comes back and he goes off the wall, I mean, or do you think he gambles and says, no, I want to be able to prove myself next year itself and then kind of go from there?
If I'm the Jets, I do what you say. Especially if you, again, they have the medical information. I don't. But as long as you're not worried about that piece of it, that you think, hey, this is just the year immediately after the Achilles, he's going to be better than this. Let's take advantage. Let's give him some financial security. I'm sure Jermaine would love that. And then we get him at a deal. And if he blows up, that's what I'm sure all of us hope for, is you sign someone to a deal and they outperform the contract. That'd be great news. And so if I'm the Jets, I do that. If I'm Jermaine, and I'm as confident in myself as Jermaine appears to be confident in himself, he's like, F this. I'm betting on myself. I'm going to kill it. And then I still want to stay with the Jets, but you're going to pay me a lot more than you were going to pay me if it would have been this offseason. So that's what I would say. But again, if we have a Boy Green Daily somewhere in the next 4 months and it's because Jermaine signed an extension, I'm going to be happy at the gills. I'm going to be, that'll be terrific news because I like Jermaine a lot. So
And that's how I feel with the Will McDonald conversation that we had yesterday. Why would you not want two guys that the potential is there? Like, it's there. Mm-hmm. You just need to completely unlock it. And I think we all can't admit that Wilkes did not do what he was saying he was going to do or whatever. Mm-hmm. You could let Sauce talk whatever, but Sauce is missing New York because he's over there in Indianapolis. Like, what are they doing, right? So I just, as somebody that is potentially coming in and you see, man, I got some edges that I could work with, right? I got Stevens is having an okay. I need to have so much capital right now. I'm sorry if you hear those sirens, man.
No, that's okay. That's I figured that was you pressing the life alert button or something over there. So
I'm falling. No,
I can't get up.
Dude, that's the most scariest thing out here. From my understanding, is when somebody falls and everything. So I can't lift. I can't even lift 5 pounds right now. So that's what they told me.
Is that any different than normal?
Pretty much.
Oh wow! Okay,
but anyways, like I was saying, I mean, I don't understand. This off season, man, it's going to be a very intriguing off season because we're going into one where here we are all over again, but we have so much money that we have a lot of holes that are going to be filled itself, and I feel like they are still, in my opinion. I still think that Glenn is evaluating Tanner, if I'm being 100% honest with you.
He should be.
To see what that's going to be and then kind of go from there. And then I saw that Mike Fario, whatever his name is itself, talking about Glenn being potentially one and done. And I'm like,
Mike Florio. Oh, yeah. Right. Yes.
I'm like, nah, man, that's not happening. Like, no.
Yeah. I saw Jake did a show on that. We did talk about it with Jake. We do weekly interviews on the channel. To me, I think it's nonsense. Correct. The Aaron Glenn, and I went back because I'm like, I couldn't remember. Connor Hughes had reported what Aaron Glenn was making per year. This isn't the end all be all, but I'm like, I couldn't remember how much was he making per year. And Connor Hughes' report 2 months ago was that Aaron Glenn signed a 5-year deal for $12 million per year, and coaching contracts are fully guaranteed. So you're telling me that Woody's going to fire AG, pay him out the rest of the whatever the math is on that, $48 million for Aaron Glenn to not coach a team, then pay another guy to coach a team, and then what's the expectation for that guy? You're saying, hey, win right now or else, and then you fire that guy? Like, I don't. All of that doesn't make any sense to me. I think this, and more. Mike Florio's whole point was that Steve Wilkes getting fired. Oh, something's weird. Defensive head coach fires defensive coordinator. What does it all mean? Steve Wilkes sucked. What do you mean, does it all mean? It's not some mystery. We don't need a Da Vinci Code here. Steve Wilkes, he trusted to run the defense. That clearly did work. That is a mistake, and clearly AG's admitting that mistake. Now he has to get the next defensive coordinator hire right. But yeah, any of the noise that he still thinks is a chance he's one and done, absolute nonsense. Woody Johnson 2 months ago just had a public vote of confidence for him. Okay. And to me, the biggest vote of confidence, I mean, he literally came out publicly and said it, and that's big. But the big one was the trade. If Woody in his heart thought there's any chance he was going to fire AG's ass, he would not have let him trade Sauce for 2 firsts. He would not have let him trade Quinnen Williams. Why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Just get all those picks for the next guy? So no, I think that was the vote of confidence. On top of the actual vote of confidence, the draft trade stuff, that said to me, AG ain't going anywhere anytime soon, which, by the way, I'm cool with. We need to stop being a friggin' revolving door for head coaches. So I've got no issue.
100%, bro. So my last thing on the line, I think they should extend Simpson, if I'm being honest with you. Yes. I want squad to have as many pieces together, right? And being able to be together as long as they can, so we could have a potential line that's been together for a very long time and keep gelling the way they're gelling. I would love AVT back, but as a depth piece, if he would do that, right? To something that's very minimal, that's not going to, break the bank. But to have a caliber of a player like that as your backup potentially, why not? Would he do that?
I don't think so.
Not, right? But we don't know. It's a conversation that could be talked about and possibility. Like, look, man, every time something, whatever, we were here, we stuck by you. But then he's going to be like, dude, I did everything you told me to do and more. I deserve to go somewhere else. So, but yeah, Simpson. I think Simpson needs to do that and then kind of go from there, man. I do hope that the Jets in the draft do actually draft a center. Like, I really do. I really do hope they draft a center. I don't think the Myers pick up, right, as another depth piece was not bad at all as anything, but I would like to have and keep Tittman at right guard because he is killing.
I agree.
BG, appreciate everything you've done, man. And again, to everybody that's been out there, has been reaching out, and I appreciate you guys so much. You guys do not even know how much that really meant to me, man. So I appreciate everybody. And also to everybody that sent and gave me raffle tickets and all of this, right?
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys, man. I'm a huge Nick Mango fan. Like, I took that death to heart when that man passed and everything like that. So I hope I win it. It'll be pretty dope, man. So with that being said, I'm coming home, baby. I'm coming home. Tell the world that I am coming home. Later, guys. Peace.
There he is, Johnny Boy. Phenomenal news. Johnny Boy is going to go home to his family. Terrific. And yes, a lot of you guys have been sending in raffle tickets. Feel free if you guys want to continue to do that and increase Johnny Boy's chances of winning again. It's all up to random chance. I don't pick who wins the raffles. The more raffle tickets you have, the better your odds are. So awesome for Johnny Boy. I'm so happy for him. And yes, like I said, I'd love nothing more. I don't get to control who wins, but I love nothing more than to give him the Nick Mangold tribute shirt coming home to his family for the holidays. That would be awesome. So we'll see if he ends up winning it. He is the leader of our raffle leaderboard with 45 raffle tickets, thanks to the great people in our audience. And again, another shout out to Philium. He's the one who started that train, and a lot of people hopped on with him and supported, which is really awesome. We have over 300 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. This next guy, it's been a long time since this person's been on the show. A long time. It's a long time since we've interacted. So let's bring him in. It's Keep It Simple. RC is back, baby. Whoa.
Hey, what's going on, BG?
Hey, man, long time no see. What's going on? Yeah.
I've been out, let's just say.
Okay, sure. That's all right. What's up, man?
Hey, listen, great news about Johnny Boy. I'm glad to hear that he's doing good. Glad to hear he's leaving the hospital. Wish him nothing but the best.
Of course.
About the Jets. All right, here's the deal.
Okay, lay it on me.
I don't want to see any trade up for Mendoza. I understand that they need a quarterback, but I also understand that most of the best quarterbacks have had to sit for some time behind somebody, and that's actually benefited them. So if you're trading up for Mendoza, that means that you're going to have to start him day one, and I don't want to see that. I want to see us develop a quarterback, let him sit, let him learn from a vet. And, and just let them just absorb everything before you throw them to the wolves. If anything, I would say, all right, we've got a bunch of picks in the first, second round. Let's take Ty Simpson in the second round if he's there. or take somebody else in the later rounds. If you don't hit, you're going to have a great quarterback draft in 27. You can hit on somebody there. Not a big deal. Plus, you have all these other holes on your defense that you got to fill. You got to fill up your linebacker room. You got to fill up your safeties. You got to fill up your I don't know if you need your defensive ends. We got to see how what's his name, JJ and McDonald do outside of the Wilkes system. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was the Wilkes system that was bringing them down. Who knows? We haven't seen that yet. We got to give it a chance. Now, as far as the AG haters go, the Florios and
oh my God,
they seem to forget that this guy also hired Chris Banjo, top special teams coordinator in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've got a pretty good offensive coordinator. I don't want to say he's great. He's pretty good. Right. We haven't really seen him with top-notch talent at the quarterback position or receivers. But he's been doing pretty good. So for that alone, I would give AG a pass. Now, as far as him having to take over DC, dude, look, Ulbrich couldn't do it. He couldn't manage being HC and the DC last year. You saw how horrible that went last year. So why would you fault AG for not wanting to take over the defense? He's already seen it. If he just looks at the Jets tape from last year, it's a hard thing to do. And I'm sure he's gotten he's gotten some information from Bill Parcells, who he played for, and other coaches that he's coached under, Sean Payton, folks like that, and told him, hey, listen, it's a hard thing to do. I don't think that's what you want to do in your first year out the gate. So I don't blame him for handing over DC duties completely to a veteran defensive coordinator like Wilkes. Didn't go great. All right, so you took a shot, didn't work. Dust yourself off, find somebody else. It didn't work with Justin Fields either. Yeah, all right. Dust yourself off, find a quarterback next year. Don't make that same mistake. If he keeps making that same mistake, that's when you got to start faulting AG.
Of course. Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, are you kidding me? He made a mistake with the hire. You can't fault him, but people are going to make mistakes. That happens. Give him a chance. It's only been a year, less than a year. Let's just say.
Wow.
Give him a chance. Let's see how these last 3 games play out with Brady Cook. I thought Brady Cook was decent. I think he could be a pretty good backup for us, going into next year. He looks poised. Aside from throwing those interceptions, which I think I wouldn't attribute entirely to him. One, he's a rookie, undrafted free agent. 2, you've had other rookies like, I don't know, Peyton Manning that have thrown tons of picks in their first year. The picks don't scare me. If he keeps making the same mistakes, that's what you got to watch out for. So personally, I think that the fan base, the media, they got to just ease up on AG, give him another season, and then you can start, pounding the table to kick him out of town. I don't know. What do you think?
I think you're right. To me, again, everyone loves to focus in. Maybe it's just our society. I don't know. They love to focus in on all the negative. AG fucked up the Steve Wilkes hire. Justin Fields stinks. The Jets' record is terrible. Like what? Chris Banjo. Like they may have the greatest special teams unit of all time. That's a pretty good hire. And Chris Banjo had no experience. He was an assistant for 2 years after having a 10-year career in the NFL. And AG identified him and said, hey, that's my guy. I'm going to take a chance on him. And it worked out great. So I think that should be part of the ethos as well, is that the hits should matter. Again, penalties. The Jets led the league in penalties the last 2 years. AG has got it back to middle of the pack. Now, it was bad at the beginning of the year. It went back to really good and then sort of balanced back out, sort of average. But still, that's a dramatic improvement over what we saw. Penalties decreased. That's an AG thing. Yeah.
Personally, you had Banjo and you had Engstrand, rookie coordinators. I don't know if he wanted to run the trifecta of having 3 rookie coordinators on his team. I think he did the right thing getting a veteran defensive coordinator. Personally, I think he wanted Chris Harris to be his DC out of the gate, but he kind of took a step back and said, wait a second. I can't have these rookies, 3 rookie coordinators plus a rookie head coach, running this team in season 1. He gave it a chance. Everybody got their feet wet. Now it's Chris Harris's time. Personally, I think he's going to be the DC next year. If not, then maybe Jim Leonard, because he's got that Denver connection with Muji. Yeah. But I think my money would be on Chris Harris being DC next year. That's where I stand on that. And honestly, I think these guys are they're probably going to respond well to him. Chris Harris, I mean, how long has Chris Harris been a coach? And he hasn't been like he was just playing like a few years ago, right?
I think it was maybe 10 years or something. But hey, shout out to Chris Harris for people that don't remember Chris Harris's playing career. He had an interception off Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. So hopefully, again, some of that energy he can bring to the Jets as they're trying to seek their first interception. So he had a nice career in the NFL. He's been coaching for a little bit. So he's in his early 40s. So he's been out of the league for maybe 10 years. Yeah.
He's pretty recent. So I think, he can connect more with the players than a Steve Wilkes could, let's just say. And Steve Wilkes, I mean, honestly, his defensive game plans were probably just ancient, and people can just see right through them. So it looked like in the last 2 weeks. So so we'll see how he does. In these last 3 weeks, I think he's going to do a great job. I think the players are going to respond well to him. And I don't think it's going to be like a my way or the highway kind of deal with Chris Harris. I think he's going to be more flexible. And, he's going to lean on AG for a lot of mentoring in there. And, I think AG, what I'm reading and hearing about him is if he's out there mentoring his players, why wouldn't he be mentoring his coaches too? I think he's going to do a great job.
I can't wait. Well, keep it simple, RC. It's been too damn long. When I saw you pop in there, I'm like, what the hell? Let me, is that what's going on? So it was great to catch back up, man, and a lot of great takes. Thanks for calling in, brother. Well, this can't be the last time.
All right. Take care, BG. Yeah, it was great talking to you. I'll try to call in a couple more times, but we'll see.
I appreciate that. Thanks, brother. And keep stacking those bricks, baby. Boom, boom. That's what AG's doing. Stacking those bricks like those virtual digital bricks behind you. Doing some of that. Hey, let's share a little bit of love here. Some more Johnny action is coming through, which is terrific. Philium with a 10-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Hey now.
Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Green Coffee Club. Let's see here. This is from, again, our guy, Philium. Dylan Studio. Jet the F Up. Nikki Boo Boo, Leany and NC. Shout out to Leany. Welcome back, Leany. Florida Man of Culture. We have Paul Niels. We have Sam Massaro. Who else do we got here? Captain Condor, John Stepnick, and QKA Jet Fan, all being Boy Green Coffee Club members. Shout out to Philium. Johnny Boy's up to 55 raffle tickets so far this month. Beautiful. And now more raffle tickets because our number one Austrian Jet fan just sent in a $5 Euro super chat right to the cup. Hey, ooh, ah. Wow. For Johnny Homecoming super chat. So cool. That's amazing. I love it. And man, it is it's just finally to get some more good news is terrific for our guy Johnny. By the way, this $5 Euro super chat will translate to 2 more raffle tickets for our guy Johnny, who's now at the 57 raffle tickets. So, all right, it looks like he could be a shoo-in, baby, for this win, which would be terrific for Johnny Boy. Again, we'll be drawing that coming up on January 1st. On the new year, which is beautiful. Thank you, Austrian. Thank you, Philium. Thank you, everybody that has donated here to Johnny. It's a very cool gesture for one of our own. And Leany, see you in the chat. Welcome back to the Boy Green Coffee Club. It's great to have you. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here on the program. Speaking of Philium, he graces us with his presence.
Good morning, Paul. So first, real quick, love Johnny, you know that, and when he said how much it meant to him, I was like, man, I got to help put him over the top. So I hope he wins it. I really do. That would be wonderful. Merry Christmas to Johnny, hopefully.
Yeah, right.
And the reason I called, though, besides that was, my take on the contracts. I want to make it clear. Like, look, I'm not like pounding the table. These are ridiculous signings. Nothing like that. Okay, there's not at all. And they're maybe slightly above market average, no big deal. Or I guess what I'm really trying to say is this.
Okay.
We keep hearing people say, yourself included, buddy, We have all this money. We got all this money. We got all this money. Who cares? It's not my money. Oh, fucking 25 million for Linderman. Who fucking cares? All I'm trying to say is, there was a politician who was famous for a statement like 50 years ago who said, a million here and a million there. And after a while, you're talking about real money. Okay. And that's kind of a double edge, like the fact that we throw around a million like it's nothing. Okay. But that's not real money, but 100 million is.
Yeah.
And of course, that's now billions. But
right. Yeah.
All I want to see is that we're not frivolously spending money. And I don't think either of these signings are frivolous.
Sure.
I question whether they would have got the same kind of money on the open market. Okay. You want to keep a guy in-house. I get it. I know Myers has flexibility on the offensive line. I get it. Ruckert, last year, everybody was throwing Ruckert out with the frickin', yesterday's newspaper. Okay. Yeah. So all I'm trying to say is I just don't want to see this become the norm where, we're just throwing money at shit that we don't need to. That was really all I was trying to say. And the reason I even wrote what I wrote is there was people calling it a gross overpayment. Okay?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So what I said was, they're probably both slightly overpaid, maybe not gross, but probably overpays. That I just don't want to see that be the norm. That's all.
Well, number one, I'm just, Philly, we haven't had a lot of disagreements over the years, but damn it, I hate when you just bring this logic to the table. It's super annoying, and it bothers me to all hell when you bring all these facts to the table and these, this side of the argument and things of that nature. Bring us back to reality here where we're looking at the money. $100 million, right, the Gerard Mayo, I got money to burn, baby, woohoo! And, eventually you burn a little bit of that money, and then that money is no longer present. So it is fair to your point. Again, it's some of the things we don't know, right? Ruckert, these fan fictions, right? Ruckert and French, what does he get from those teams? I got no idea. Josh Myers, I have no idea what he potentially gets.
Listen, I'll never know what they would have got on the open market. Sure. So my point can be easily argued, well, you don't know that. And I don't. Yeah. Okay. And I'm not even trying to argue the fact. I'm really not. If you look at PFF, they're both at the bottom of the freaking pile, though. All right. But that's really, all I wanted.
But a cautionary tale with all this other money, because these aren't the last two people they're going to sign. There's more to come. But I get your overall, you're giving me, a ghost of Christmas, hanging over. Oh, watch out, the $100 million could disappear. And I'm like, all right. But it does make some sense.
Yeah. Well, 100 million does go pretty quick in this league. But at any rate, listen, God bless you all. And, go, Johnny, go.
Yeah, there you go. Go, Johnny, go. And yes, it hit me the same way, Phil, that it did you when because you give raffle tickets to someone, you don't know how it hits them, you don't know how it hits them. And then to hear the Giants oh boy, that'd be cool. You're like, oh, damn. Okay, man. All right, here we go. Well, folks, we have many more callers to get to. Unfortunately, I have to go record another interview here at 9:00. So we're going to have to cut it short at the callers we have. I'm so sorry, everybody. We lost track of time, but we will be back at 3:00. Boy Green meets Woody, Jets, Saints, and so much more. Make sure on the way out, you guys like the video and hit subscribe and show your love. Thank you to Austrian, Philium, and Austrian again for all your super chats and memberships for Johnny Boy. That means the world to Johnny Getty's up to 57 raffle tickets. You guys are great. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, we'll be back at 3:00.